Hi, today I'm going to make broccoli beef with some leftover ribeye steak. I have about a little more than half a pound of ribeye steak that I grilled a few days ago. So I need to cook that up. And I had broccoli left over from another dish. This is raw florets that I found at Costco. And with the broccoli beef, I like green onions, optional. Red bell pepper, mainly for color, add a contrast. I have minced garlic and a few large slices of this stuff, ginger. I left it large so that you could pull it out and not worry about eating it. And for the flavors, I don't have oyster sauce or oyster flavored sauce, so I'm going to use soy paste. It has a similar flavor. It adds extra richness, umami to the dish. Sesame seed oil, soy sauce, salt and pepper, and also I like to use a little hot sauce. That's optional also. So now I'll go to prep the dish. Alright, for this ribeye, it was a medium rare ribeye, so it's basically has some extra room to cook, but it is pretty much cooked. So the objective of this is I'm just going to trim off the fat off the edges. Oh, puppy. I will use some of the fat for the dish, but cut it in half. Here's the doneness of the meat, so it has a little leeway. Then what I'm going to do is just cut it into nice strips. This was a choice ribeye, so it should be tender. And one thing about this is that since this is already partially cooked, I'm not going to stir fry the beef a long time. Basically, I'm going to just heat it up. Main cooking is the broccoli and then adding a lot of flavor to the dish. So the meat is cut up and then I'll cut up the veggies. For the fatty bits, what I like to do, I might not use it all, is take some and just mince it really small and add this to the cooking oil. This will add a lot of flavor to the dish also, and then when you cook it, it's going to melt. So that's probably roughly a tablespoon of minced fat. It looks like it has some more meat, but basically this is the meat that's left over, and then I'll cut up the veggies. Alright, for the onion, I'm just going to cut it into sort of strips. This will cook down a little. And same thing with the bell pepper. I'll just cut it into small little strips or matchsticks. Again, this is mainly for color, adds some flavor. And it adds some vitamin C. Then for the green onion, I'll just cut them into small rounds. And that's the veggies. Alright, for the sauce, I'll use about a tablespoon of this oyster sauce or soy paste. About a teaspoon of soy sauce. And sesame seed oil is actually pretty powerful, so I'll probably just add half a teaspoon. And for hot sauce, I'll also add about, half a teaspoon. couple squirts. Nice garlicky flavor. So that's the basic sauce. If it gets too thick, just add a little water to thin it out. Easy peasy. Alright, although beef broccoli sometimes is a stir-fried dish, I always like to blanch the broccoli. That will help speed up the cooking process and make sure that the broccoli is not hard, but at least it is tender. I'll add a little salt to the water. That's probably a teaspoon, probably a little less. You don't want it over salted. But once the water comes to boil, I'm just going to dump this in and let it blanch or parboil for about a minute or two. And basically the florets, when I cut them up, I just made sure they're like bite-sized pieces. You don't want a big chunk of broccoli when you bite into it. So turn up the water. It was starting to boil. And I'll just give it a quick cover, even though typically you don't. But I'll set it for about 2 minutes. See you in 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes. I'm just gonna dump the broccoli here and take it to the sink and let it drain. All right, now on to the stir fry. Put in about a tablespoon of avocado oil, and at the same time I'm going to add this chopped fat to help render it out a little. The fat is optional, so it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. One thing I have to say is the fat adds flavor. So what I'm going to do is just pull it out. Now I'll go on to the aromatics. Garlic and ginger. That will flavor the oil also. Then I'll do the onions and bell pepper. Typically I would cook the meat first if it were raw and then take it out, but since this is partially cooked, I'll leave it alone. Add a little salt. Even though the sauce might have some salt, but I kind of like flavoring each component as it goes in. This is kind of a small stir-fry pan. Just trying to pre-cook the onions. Broccoli's still hot, but I'll add some of the broccoli. This is 1.5 pounds. I'll add probably 1 pound. You can tell that the red bell peppers are adding a nice little contrasting colors. Mix the sauce up. I'll add a little bit of it. I'll add the rest of the green onions and then add the beef into it. Add the rest of the sauce. I might add a little water just to wash that out. That's probably a half a tablespoon. Cover, and it should be pretty much done. Just gonna let it go a couple minutes. Alright, I just took the lid off. And that should be it for the dish. You could add what is that stuff called? Cornstarch to thicken it, but I didn't use any. Let's give this dish a shot. It's hot right now. So the cornstarch would thicken up the liquids and give a nice gloss on the veggies. Alright, here's the final dish. Broccoli beef with leftover ribeye steak. Let's dish a little to the side. The beef is cooked. Broccoli's tender. Onions are cooked. Again, as I mentioned, you could use cornstarch if you want to thicken it up, and the juices will form a little glossy gravy. So let's give this a try. Try the broccoli. Has a nice little spiciness from the hot sauce. You can taste the sesame seed oil, toasted sesame seed oil, and the sort of like the soy paste. Broccoli is tender but not mushy. Let's try the beef. Tender. Tender and flavorful. A quick, easy way to use ribeye in a broccoli beef stir fry. Thanks for watching.